Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, Enterprise Morning, it is. Reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. Tensions rose after a coalition of Niger Delta groups urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to order an immediate investigation into former Kaduna State Governor Nasser El-Rufai over alleged comments suggesting a national security breach. The coalition claimed El-Rufai stated in a television interview that someone tapped the phone of Nigeria's national security advisor Nuhu Ribadu and allowed him to listen to the private conversation.
Very true. The groups described the claim as deeply troubling, arguing that any unauthorized interception involving the NSA's office would constitute a serious criminal offense and threaten Nigeria's security framework. They stressed that the NSA coordinates intelligence and protects the country from internal and external threats, warning that compromised communications could endanger national stability and sovereignty.
Let's get talking. Barrister Evans Ofeli is still here with us. Barrister, thank you so very much for hanging on.
Yeah, very well.
All right. So let's get talking on this very sensitive matter. It's all over the place right now. You remember the threat on the importation of a 10 gram, I would love to believe, of a poisonous substance according to El-Rufai, that Ribadu had said. So let's talk about this in a broader spectrum. I would love you to have your say. Do you think the Niger Delta group asking for the discipline of Nuhu Ribadu is right? What does the law say about persons, tapping into other persons' conversation?
Well, Section 37 of the 1999 Constitution actually creates a situation where phone lines of individuals, families, or institutions are supposed to be exclusive to them. Okay? And any attempt to pry into those conversations, will amount to an offense by law. Okay? And so when Ribadu said that, when El-Rufai said that, that will amount to
all right. I think we lost a barrister there. We hope that he would join back, because this is so important that we talk about this, because it's region right now.
Yes, and
across.
I like the fact that he's taking it from the Constitution. So
yeah, exactly.
More like, laying an attribute to the story too, and it's going to give it a well-detailed
perspective there.
Yes,
But just before we get the barrister back, we were speaking to the issue of El-Rufai. Lots of people would say that El-Rufai is biting more than he can chew at this point. That the reason he is this vexed is because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu denied him ministerial appointment. Remember, he was the one that allowed for Muslim ticket. He said he practiced it in Kaduna and nothing happened. Kaduna is a state divided among Christians and Muslims, especially Christians in the south of the state. So usually when you have a governor, you have a deputy from the south, right? But El-Rufai came and insisted that it must be a governor who is a Muslim, a deputy who is a Muslim, and he stood. And when Southern Kaduna people raised the voice, he started doing lots of things to them. So he made that possible equally in the presidential elections. Okay, Barrister is here with us. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for joining us back. So your thoughts before we had that glitch.
El-Rufai's action will amount to an offense. But there's something I want to say about El-Rufai.
Okay.
El-Rufai, Tinubu, and a host of other APC chieftains are the ones who are responsible for the banditry that we have today. In 2015, when Jonathan, contested election with Buhari, they were the ones who went to Mali, different African countries, to bring these extremists, these terrorists, to come and fight against Jonathan if he refused to relinquish power. Okay? So part of what they were doing then were to pray into the phone lines, to tap into the phone lines of the National Security Advisor at the time. to monitor what Jonathan's government was doing. You see, that is why Tinubu have not said anything about it, and that is why APC will never probe or punish Rivado. Just watch and see. Because that is what, yes. So that is why El-Rufai will not be punished by the APC government. Because that is what they were doing when they were in opposition. They all constituted as national security risk, probing into Jonathan's affair and the Nigerians' affair, committing all sorts of crime and offenses, getting persons of unknown origin to come and fight against and weaken the Jonathan government. They did that. El-Rufai himself confessed that he paid the insurgents to stop attacking. Okay, it was when Jonathan relinquished power, congratulated Buhari, the persons that they brought into the country, they don't know what else to do with them. They now ask them to go, those ones refuse. Asked for a huge amount of money. And a huge amount of money was given to them. Once they saw that the government is able to give them that kind of money, they finished it and kept on abducting, raping, fighting people. That is what happened. That is when we started hearing about the farmer headers clashes.
Oh, okay.
Who gave the headers those AK-47 and all that? Was a huge amount of money that was given to them to go, and they refused to go because they have nowhere to go actually. So the consequences of that seed, the seed of violence that the APC sowed, that is what El-Rufai is mining. El-Rufai is now using the same tactics that they use against Jonathan, against the APC. And now they are complaining. So if you listen to him yesterday in an interview, he said anybody that criminalizes him, he will fight the person until the person drops dead or he drops dead. Okay? Yeah. So let me tell you, El-Rufai may be committing an offense. Of course, I do not support illegality and criminality. El-Rufai may be committing an offense. But El-Rufai is a necessity in the game of unseating Tinubu.
Wow.
It's a necessity. He has a very dirty past. He was used to do the dirty jobs of the APC. He accomplished those jobs, brought in all kinds of terrorists into the country. But right now, as we speak, he has become an albatross, a thorn in the skin of this government, because it's not using the same tactics he used to flush out the PDP against the APC for the AGC. So that is why they want to make sure that they silence him. They want to make sure that they crop him. But El-Rufai is not an easy nut to crack. The government might use the federal might whatsoever to bring on, but as much as we should not support criminality, he still remains a necessity. If you were sitting, if this country must find its feet again, Tinubu has to go first. That's the first thing. If this country will find its feet again, Tinubu has to leave first. Because it's just there. With no program, no prospect, nothing.
Wow. This is... Thank you so much, Ambassador, for that in-depth explanation, because we really needed to listen or to hear that, because it's more like a story that is really not just disturbing, but it's actually engaging. At least when we listen, we know that, okay, these things that what El-Rufai did in the past is something that I feel is something that is even coming back again. More of like can we use the word
boomeranging, actually.
Boomeranging, yeah. So it's coming in circles, and we hope we see the results anyways, and we'll be here, right? Yeah. To see how things go. And for that, Barrister, please, who does El-Rufai's claim reveal about trust in Nigeria's national security institutions?
I don't get the question.
Okay, I just want us to discuss the erosion of public confidence in
Yeah.
intelligence coordination,
Gathering,
and
especially
leadership.
with regards to the allegation of importation of a poisonous substance, according to El-Rufai, that was brought in by Ribadu to harm who we do not know. So where do we stick
Yeah.
to confidence of
Trust.
From Poland, from Poland. Yes, remember that there was a Nigerian Air Force aircraft that was impounded by the Burkina Faso government. You remember that story?
Yes, very well.
Yes. And they said that it was on its way to Poland.
Yeah.
You understand? It was actually flying on an altitude without clearance and was brought down. I just wanted to leave that story there and then come back to El-Rufai accusation of Ribadu and Poland. Poland in the two stories. Then importation of that chemical substance from Poland again. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, El-Rufai is asking a question. Yeah, there's a letter he put out there because that chemical, that substance is actually used in situations where same can harm a lot of people. So what's the National Security Advisor doing with such substance? That's the question is asking. And to whom is that importation meant for? You see, that question is very, very important. Nigerians need to know what exactly that is for. Okay? Nigerians need to know. Is it to fight insurgency? Or is it to fight political opponents? Or is it going to be used against protesters? Or who exactly is that still meant for? And that purchase, was it budgeted for? Was it appropriated? Okay? Those are questions that El-Rufai is asking. And as a citizen, he has every right under the Freedom of Information Act to ask and get clarification as to why those substances were imported. As we speak now, we cannot really tell the purpose until the National Security Advisor responds. Okay? It is when he responds that we will not know exactly what it is meant for. Because these politicians, they know themselves. When you see El-Rufai asking those questions, El-Rufai knows exactly what that is meant for. He knows. But he wants the government to come up and tell the public that this is what they are doing. Is it a contribution to national growth? Is it to ward off the attacks from enemies? Is it for the propagation of the Nigerian economy? How? Is it for the general good of all? How? So those are questions that this government need to answer. Nobody will answer it for them. They need to answer it for themselves. And so let them come out and tell the public that it's a good place to start. We learned that you brought this in. We heard it in this conversation. You brought this in. What is it meant for? By the Freedom of Information Act, every Nigerian has the right to act and get clarification as to what that thing is meant for.
Yeah, this is actually quite disturbing. You know, the substance under reference is called the poisonous poison, right? The chemical name is thallium sulfate, right? And Barrister, this brings us, takes us historically to the letter bomb as alleged that was used to kill Dele Giwa, according to what was made known to the public at the time. Do you see us repeating the same dangerous going against one another simply because we want to safeguard and protect our interest?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now I'm saying until the federal government comes out to tell us the reason, what it's meant for, they will need to tell the public what that thing is meant for, because it couldn't have been brought in just for fun. That's why I said, is it against political enemies? Is it for the promotion of Nigerian economy? How? Is it for the general good of society? Because people who are poor, in a country where you have, everybody is poor right now in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned. In a country where everybody is poor, is a priority chemical substance? That's a question. Well, is it for politics? Is it for the economy? Is it for what exactly? So the National Security Advisor is in a better place to tell us why that reportation was made, to whom, for whom, against whom, and all that, or what for.
So
Yes.
sorry to interject there. In a situation where the NSA had denied ever getting involved in that, and equally asked El-Rufai to provide evidence to show that that was even procured in the first place, don't you think this is a dead end already?
But there's a telephone conversation to the fact, according to him. Okay? Is that not what is linked to the telephone conversation?
Yeah.
Is it not the same story, right?
Yes.
There's a telephone conversation to that effect. Okay? So, except the government don't want to divulge the information, but there's a need to do that. You see, the same thing this government did to the Jonathan government is what El-Rufai is doing. El-Rufai has said that they made Tinubu the president. And they made Tinubu the president, and the things that they did, they know what they did to make him president. It's not only El-Rufai that said that, even the late Onokpasa.
Onokpasa, yes.
Yes. Also
Our
said,
very good friend.
So they made him the president, and they know exactly what they did to make him the president. So it is that wood that El-Rufai is trying to pull out from their legs, so that they can all come crashing. That is why I said that El-Rufai may have been used to do dirty jobs, may have been involved in very dirty activities and criminal activities. I do not condone that. I do not support that. But what I know is that El-Rufai is a necessity. El-Rufai knows what they know. It's not P2B. P2B may have overwhelming support and this and that. But you need an El-Rufai with a shrewd mind, okay, to confront evil. The deep calleth into the deep. You cannot unseat Tinubu with the Peter Obi's approach, or with the approach of civility, and you need a huge chunk of animalistic propensity, which El-Rufai typifies, which El-Rufai is an embodiment of. In the case under reference, you need a huge chunk of that in this game. And so he's playing that role. As you can see, he's not contesting for president, or to be president. But his assignment, he has said that his assignment to make sure that Tinubu does not return.
And you feel the Tinubu's government cannot get him arrested? Remember, we have a rumor that the NSA equally...
They can get him arrested. They almost arrested him at the airport the other day when he was returned from. They can get him arrested. Yes. But the El-Rufai that I know, if you have known El-Rufai in the past, he doesn't back down. El-Rufai does not back down. And he has said it. If you try to criminalize him, he will fight you. It's either he drops dead or you drop dead. That's his policy.
Fight to finish. Yes. Fight to finish in Nigeria. And whilst this is going on, Nigerians are still asking the very important question: where is our leaders? What are they doing for us? Is life better for us? It's quite sad, you know. During the protest in Abuja, Chibika Amechi, who brought the Sun, by the way, was asking a journalist that is his life better with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu or under Buhari. You could imagine we're now comparing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Buhari, and the journalist said his life was better under under Buhari. You know, so you can see how bad we have allowed ourselves to be, simply because those who feel they understand better, who have asked they should be given the opportunity to lead, are actually not leading the country. Quite bad.
Oh, you can say that over and over again.
Yes. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for your time. We truly do appreciate your insight and our conversation today.
Thank you, sir.
And that's our time. We'd love to say thank you to you wherever it is you've streamed from around the world. We say thank you. Please do well to visit us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com to read more on everything we've talked about, and equally slide to our social media handle at Enterprise TV7 to download what you have just seen and share with your friends and folks, and equally leave your comments right there so we can equally know what you think about our conversation today. My name is Henry Gwebike.
And my name is Kehinde Bodun.
Have yourself a splendid weekday, and God bless you.
God bless Nigeria. Bye.
Bye-bye.